Bloggo's POW! Right, let's have a look at 3 classic arcade games which have had reimaginings on the PlayStation 2. So this is the adaptation of the classic arcade game. Let's just say classic in the loosest term. Now, whereas in the original you come back from the dead by means of black magic or something, by some wizard guy, in this game you appear to be some sort of genetic experiment who's fallen out of a helicopter. I don't think fall out of a helicopter is quite as good, is it? You start the game, and upon finding a magic briefcase, you'll be able to transform into the first beast, which is the werewolf. And you can transform to it as many times as you like, as long as you've got some of the beast power-up bar filled out. The only issue being, you have to sit through part of the transformation sequence each time you transform, which gets pretty tiresome. So you see, gameplay is a third-person beat-em-up, where in each area of the game you have to defeat a certain amount of enemies or a shiny, glowing enemy to move to the next location by removing a physical barrier. As you do that, enemies will drop top-ups for your beast bar or your health meter. The camera controls are pretty annoying, but you can censor where you're looking by using a shoulder button. There's also a map you can bring up on screen to show your location of the enemies and the exits. It's not a very good game, it's a bit tedious to play, but it was pretty cool finding the second beast transformation, which is for a merman, but even then the swim controls are pretty awful. Like a lot of games like this, there's a skill tree where you can unlock extra powers and moves to increase your abilities. I just couldn't be bothered to learn them. In all, it's a bit disappointing and not a particularly good rendition of what the original arcade game was about. Curiously enough, it was never released in the USA. So Rygar, again based on the old arcade game. This time you're on a mission to save your girlfriend, princess, Britney Spears, whoever that is. And on this game, on the surface of things, it seems to play very similarly to Altered Beast. You have a skill tree, and you have stages where you have to defeat a certain amount of creatures to progress past the barrier. But the combat's a lot more fluid, the camera is nowhere near as annoying, and it favours more of a fixed perspective, scrolling backgrounds, a bit like Devil May Cry. Again, you also pick up items to power up your defence and attack. The graphics are really good for this game. Considering it was released in 2003, I think that's a good 2 years before Altered Beast. It's a lot of fun to play. It's got some really great big boss characters, and the locations are all different, so you actually feel like you're progressing through the game rather than retreading old ground. It's got some really nice callbacks to the original game, like the sunsets and those strange horse statues you have to move around, so I like that. That's a good callback. So if you're looking for a game with quite a lot of combat, give it a go. It's a bit like Devil May Cry meets God of War Light. Worth picking up. So lastly we've got Shinobi. Which is, surprise surprise, another reimagining of an old arcade game. And again, it's a third person fighting thing. To be honest, I've played this before and I haven't enjoyed this in the past at all. It's the same as Alter Beast and Rygar, as in you've got to fight through an area, beating off enough bad guys to progress to the next area. But it's got the added bonus of some really annoying platforming. The camera angles can be annoying again, which is what makes the platforming really annoying. Old Joe Ninja runs around with a long red scarf trailing behind him, which is pretty cool. There's some pretty cool boss encounters, including one with a helicopter and one with a tank. But I just found the controls and the jumping and the wall running really annoying. So I ran out of patience with this one really fast. It did have a sequel, which I've not played, called Nightshade. So I don't know if that's actually any better. I'd steer clear of this, I'm just not particularly enthused with it at all. So there we have it. 3 PlayStation 2 games based on old 80s coin-ops. Alter Beast, middle of the road. It's okay, it's not particularly interesting to play. There's not a lot of variety to it. It's not particularly interesting really, is it? The Beast transformations are cool, but they happen far too often. Rygar was a pleasant surprise. I was really expecting it to be like Alter Beast, but it did keep me playing for a bit longer, and I will go back to it to see what some of the bosses are like. And just as I did finish playing it, there was some promise of some summons that could come from disc armor, so that needs investigating. That was pretty cool. And Shinobi, sorry, just bored me shitless. I'd much rather play the original coin-op or one of the Mega Drive games. It really wasn't interesting at all, and I've got no inclination to go back to it at a later date. So what PlayStation 2 games would you recommend, if there are any left that are based on old arcade games? If there are, have a comment below, let me know what they are. Maybe I'll dig them up for a future look at them. Here, subscribe or naff off.